the first time ever.
Boy, I sure do love
there's been plenty.
self-fulfilling prophecies, but speaking of self-fulfilling prophecies, let's get right on into it, boys and girls.
Oh god.
Let's bump your volumes up, let's bump my volumes up. It is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9004!
Wait.
I am your host, Sneaky Devil.
He didn't say the thing. Sneaky, you didn't say the thing.
What? What thing?
Hello, internet.
Well, fuck you, Internet.
No.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's the internet done for us?
Yeah, what has the Internet ever done for us?
True.
We could just do the entire Monty Python skit, but with, well, they gave us internet porn, that's true. We can't deny that. Well, they gave us the Silk Road to buy all our drugs. Yeah, that was pretty good of them.
All I hear you saying is degenerate shit.
Monty Python is
even
great. I loved all of their comedy. Anyway, so
Yeah.
today we have a Swedish person to feature as an author here.
Ah, yes. Hang on.
This
Swedish
is gonna
person,
be
you say?
good.
Yeah, Swedish person, I said.
Oh,
Go ahead.
excellent.
Yeah, they tagged themselves as Sweden, which is pretty bold of them, to be honest.
Yeah, that's, well, I mean, if they want to put the story themselves, go right ahead.
So, so this author here, alias 001, they have no bio, but that doesn't stop them from being cringe as hell. Now, if you take a look at the screen
Oh,
here,
no.
you might notice something very interesting about all the stories they've written. And to those who are not looking
Excellent.
at the screen, what's really interesting about all the stories they've written is that they don't have summaries.
Not one of them has a summary?
Not a single one of them have summaries beyond a couple of tags. So like hashtag FemHarry and stuff like that. And also, the author is sure to mention that there is no summary. They do mention in every single summary that there is no summary.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
I
Galaxy Brain?
see.
So what brought me to this author is actually the story at the top of their list right now called Child of Ouroboros, which is a DxD Harry Potter crossover. And anyone who's
DxD?
familiar with DxD, Dragon Times Dragon, it's an anime. It's a really shit anime.
Is it the one with the dragon maids?
No. It's
No, that's
the one-
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which is actually
That's
okay.
Yeah,
right.
that one's
That was
really
okay.
good. No,
Except the
DxD
English
is
dub
the
has
one
SJW
where the
bullshit.
bland, generic main character who is hyper perverted gains dragon-based powers that he then uses to become more perverted.
I'm at a loss.
Yeah,
I know high school D&D.
Yeah, that's called High School DxD.
Yeah, that's the only thing DxD I know of.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
And it's also awful
That's the
despite-
one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I just call it DxD.
It's-
Because that's what everyone shortens it to. So anyway, so to everyone who knows about DxD, you all know that Ouroboros refers to Ophis.
Ah. Oh.
And with it being a Harry Potter crossover story, I'll give you 3 guesses as to why it's called Child of Ouroboros. The first 2 don't count.
I have no idea. And also, if you hear me grunting, it's because I'm working out.
Very cool.
So I'll try to be quiet.
So anyway, Ophis gives birth to Harry Potter.
Is Ophis the redhead?
Ophis is the immortal dragon god of infinity.
Oh, never
That's
mind.
also a lolly.
A stripper lolly. Who
Yes.
wears stripper tape on her flat chest.
I mean, so far I don't dislike her on principle.
I just like the author. Anyway. So, the story itself is actually extremely cringe. It's really bad. So the author spends at least 3 paragraphs in the story describing about how it's actually impossible to summon a god with a ritual, and then proceeds to have the main character, Lily Potter at the time, summon Ophis with a ritual, and then Ophis pops into existence and she's like, how did you summon me? It's literally impossible to summon a god, part of a ritual. And Lily goes, I don't know. I thought it was impossible to summon a god as part of a ritual. And Ophis is like, well,
That
that's
actually
really
sounds
interesting.
funny.
Yeah, I'm
That
making
actually
it
sounds
sound
like a
way
funny
more
scenario.
funny than it actually reads.
You know,
yeah.
the dialogue there should just be like, well, I guess you're not a god then, are you?
And honestly, I see the major loophole in this whole fucking logic chain of the author's explanation is the reason why rituals don't normally summon gods is because the god has to accept the summoning. Because they're not exactly gods if you can force them to be summoned.
My retcon would have been simply actually the story being beaten into all the youth that you can't summon them. That was a lie, and nobody ever tried.
Of course, yeah.
And
That's
nobody ever tried.
Yeah.
That would have been my get out
Could
of
have
it.
been true. And then, so, basically, Femme Harry is dying as a baby and has only days to live.
Thank
And
God.
so Lily was planning to summon a god or something to give her baby powers so the baby would live.
Okay, my Discord crashed. What in God's name have I come back to?
Exactly.
Nothing.
You're reading the Quran.
Yes.
Yeah. Inshallah, brother.
And
Inshallah.
Somehow, I doubt that.
I call for a
Ophis
fatwa
looks at the
against the
baby
heathen.
and goes, "Ah, yes, this is a baby child, human child of babiness. I see. Yes.
course.
Okay, I will shove my giant snake down this child's throat, and it will become strong."
Is that
Kinky.
okay? Look, because this is
Wow,
fan
that's a
fiction, I
clip.
have to ask: is that a
See,
euphemism?
clip that.
No, it's literal. She shoves her giant snake down the child's throat and becomes strong.
See,
Yes.
Yeah, definitely clip that, please.
Yeah, there was no euphemism there. It was literal.
I know, but I
I'm
wanna
guessing
take
this
that out of
author isn't
context.
big on subtlety.
No.
They write fan
The
fiction.
author is also
Fuck
very
you
low
expect?
on creativity because every single one of the stories they've written is a response to a challenge, and they usually only get a couple
Ew.
thousand words in before they move on to their next story. For example,
Yes, the curse of being a Swede.
Child of Ouroboros,
Yeah.
inspired by Quartermass's Child of Ouroboros challenge.
Of course, it's Quartermass.
Their next story, inspired by White Tiger Wolf's Monster Girl challenge. Femme Harry, Yuri, Monster Girl Harry. Monster
Okay,
Girl.
but who is the pairing?
Doesn't say.
Everyone.
Yuri with who?
Everyone.
Probably Yuri with a Monster Girl
With Yuri.
Yuri.
from Monster
Yeah,
Girl
the comrade.
Encyclopedia. Bad Apple. No summary yet. Harry Potter Gravity Rush. A Legacy of Cold Blood. No summary. Set after neutral ending. Ruby Code Vein. IO times OC. Now, you might be wondering how many words are actually all of these stories. Well, it's really easy. So, Child of Ouroboros, 29 chapters with a whopping 18k words,
Ooh.
which means about 700 words per chapter.
Yeah, well.
Look at
I'd be
that
impressed
work
if I
ethic.
wasn't so disgusted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much effort. I mean, let's be honest, Tiki. It even puts some of your mega chapters to shame, if we're honest.
I know, right? It's not like we're in the midst of publishing an 18k chapter right now. Hey, Gray?
Yeah,
This
that
is an
took
aside.
2 months
Oh,
to
go ahead.
actually beta.
Well, I had to get around to it.
Actually,
okay?
no, it was alpha.
Yeah, basically offering. What were you saying, Rance?
Say, I don't remember the story, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember the video game was crossed over with the, not SOCOM, the one where the guy had PTSD and was going crazy when they went to Dubai.
Oh, the
Goes
line.
to the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes,
Stack ups.
it was a crossover with that, and I never got around to reading it, but I looked at it. I looked at the word count and how recent it was published and updated. This guy was a champ. He was publishing long chapters every single day for like a month. So I remember being impressed by that, and I never got around back to reading it.
honestly, Spec Ops: The Line isn't worth your time.
I agree. I watched a lot of video games. I look up video game name, the movie, and it's just all the cutscenes and important parts. I just watched that on YouTube.
You weren't wrong on that
Genius.
one.
Well, I
I
would
did
say
that with
because
most
the
of
big
them.
problem.
I do remember
we've
one
complained
guy.
about Spec Ops before.
I do remember one guy. This was a while back. His story's dead as fuck now. His name was Egyptian God Phoenix, and he was,
I remember that name.
yeah, he was writing a fairy tale story. and he was pumping out 7K chapters every single day.
God damn.
And he
No.
stopped around like chapter 145 or something.
Holy
Jesus.
crap.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there in awe of this lad. I was like, what the actual fuck, my dude?
Like that's more impressive than Lupine, honestly.
But anyway, so to start off today, we're going to do this story, which was a recommendation by Shiro's server.
Every
Yes.
time you say those words, my soul dies a little.
Good.
Who is
Yeah,
Shiro's
that's the
server?
point.
So Dark Wolf Shiro is a writer of a story called Guide to Gaming, Guide to Necromancy, or something, whatever the fuck it's called.
He's got a few.
Several
Anyway, so yeah,
stories.
he's got several
Gamer
stories.
fix.
They're all really long gamer trope stories, and typically they're pretty cringe, and he's introduced a lot of really cringe shit into the gaming genre of tropes.
It's just power wanking, honestly.
It's all power wank cringe.
I mean,
Yeah.
not that gamer stories aren't that for the most part anyway, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
like
know,
he
but, like,
lives
he's-
into it. Like that's
He's
the point.
really popular, and if you're
Yeah.
reading a story by a gamer fan, the writer is probably a fan of Shiro's stuff. Like,
Is
Yeah.
Gamer a series? Is there a series called Gamer?
there is
Yeah.
a
Gamer.
series of
Korean,
Korean manga called The Gamer, and it's
Yeah.
inspired effectively a trope where people take the system from that series and apply it to Naruto or Harry Potter or
Oh.
DxD. And
Why must you make me gag?
I know,
well, I would
right?
say, and the
Can I get it?
terrible.
That's what she said. Can
would
I
say,
get it? That's
no.
what she said.
no.
No.
That'd be
I
gay.
would say to make it super
No.
quick, the entire conceit of the manhwa is some dude wakes up and he's an RPG character. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And now,
He's a
don't get
normal
me
dude
wrong.
in the world with as an
I've
RPG
seen
character.
good variations on the trope. I have seen it. They're very rare, and they rarely ever go anywhere before the author realizes, holy shit, this trope sucks, and they stop writing it.
Yeah,
So-
very much.
Yeah.
Because even if they're invested in the idea, the author's note usually goes something along the lines of, I like the idea. I'm having fun, but this power scale is absolutely insane, and there is zero way to control it, and zero way past chapter like 10 to make any human being a threat.
Yep, pretty much. And the follow-up problem is even Shiro himself has had issues where he's had to rewrite one story 3 times now because he's like, the power scaling is just too much, and I can't, control it well.
He
So,
restarted twice with that and then fucked it up on the second story.
the problem here is that people are less intelligent than Shiro. And they've gathered under the banner of Shiro to give each other really shit ideas.
Yeah.
So it's really a case of a partially blind man inspiring all the blind men.
Yes. And then all the blind men telling each other how much they can see.
and jerking
What-
each other off.
I feel like there was some philosopher who went on about this.
It's
If
possible.
only Legolas was there with his elf eyes to guide them.
Yes, fine. Let's go with some predictions. Okay.
I predict rug munching within the first 3 chapters.
All right. So,
Well,
Well,
Interesting
we don't go
prediction,
3
okay.
chapters in, so
Okay.
no bet.
First chapter then. I'm probably going to lose that bet, but I'm going to make it anyways. First chapter.
No way, the first chapter.
Prediction.
Yeah.
Let's see. What
Absolutely.
will Sneaky
You know,
rage at?
TOS.
Mug
Hmm.
munching.
I would say is the option. Where's the option for nothing? He's just disappointed.
Spag?
What's
the 2
spag?
options will be spag, spelling and grammar. Spag
Okay.
or what
Dumb.
should be the second option? The author
How
just getting
dumb this
everything
thing.
wrong. Yeah, okay.
How dumb this piece
Well,
of shit is.
You've already
Contempt.
shown us that author gets everything wrong.
Oh no,
This is a
the
different
new
guy.
story.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
a Swedish dude.
Master procrastinator.
Master masturbator.
Master debater,
No.
like Ben
I
Shapiro.
am a masturbator.
All right, so
No
I'm
one
gonna make
baits better
the
than
submission period 5 minutes, and
Pedro,
we're going to,
clip it.
This is not compliant with our content guidelines. Rage is not Rage is a forbidden word.
I
Wait,
thought for
it's
sure
moment.
they'd have a
Wait.
problem with spag. I was like, I
Yeah.
bet
no,
spag is
it gets
some.
worse. No, and it gets worse. Retardation? Fine. Rage?
I agree. I
Can't
can see
allow
that.
it.
Okay,
Aw.
just change it to what Sneaky beat. Just change it to angry.
Retardation? A-okay. That's cool by our content guidelines. Rage? That's illegal. You can't say rage.
You can't play an all dragon team on Discord, I guess. Rage was
There.
a dragon type move, right?
There you
This
go.
is
Bloodburn.
not compliant with our content guidelines. Are you saying salt is not compliant?
Okay, no, what's it saying now?
Name is not compliant.
Salt, really,
What?
salt.
No,
Oh.
salt I could see. That salt is a gamer word.
But all
Salty.
salt means is I'm angry.
I know.
Yeah,
know.
exactly. That's the problem. It's also
Yeah.
part of rage, don't you know?
Yeah, it's a synonym to rage. Oh,
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Put
Yeah, no,
Sandy as in
salt
Sandy
is a
vagina.
forbidden word. Are you
Okay.
serious?
All right.
Twitch
Hang
Put
on.
Sandy.
Twitch
Okay.
moment.
Sneaky, I think we need to dig into like dead English words for rage.
Let's go with froth. We'll go with froth. That's not compliant with our content guidelines.
Hang on.
Because frothing
have you tried
loins.
removing retardation?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I know why froth is labeled
No,
not.
but
Yeah.
it's not highlighting retardation. It's highlighting
Wait,
the
wait.
name.
It actually highlights.
Oh, it's
them.
highlighting it. Yes, it is.
Twitch moment. Twitch moment.
What? What is
This
it highlighting now? Is it?
Froth.
Okay. All right. Okay, Sneaky.
try-
Let's get really old here. Apoplectic. Let me spell this out for you. If they block this, I will be impressed.
No, it's cool. I'm just using.
Oh, wait. Can we make a bet on whether they block it or not?
No, I can't.
You get a bet.
Because I can't fucking write it.
I spelled it for you in 9K. Just copy paste it.
Hey, Papa.
I don't think it's the name.
Twitch
If they,
moment.
if they block this, I'm going to be actually impressed. Because this is a word you don't encounter very much.
Wow. Really?
Except when somebody's trying to jerk off their own vocabulary.
I don't know anymore. Okay, I don't know anymore. It still says this name is not compliant with our content
What?
guidelines.
Really?
Then I don't think it's actually the name. I think it's just telling you it's the name as a name. That's the error.
Yeah.
Not the name.
removing
Try removing
retardation.
retardation. Try removing retardation.
Try autistic instead.
Okay, it was retardation, but for some reason that
Yeah.
it listed it as name and was highlighting the name instead of the responses.
That is weird.
Interesting.
Anyway, so predict now, everybody.
Both.
What was I saying? Right, so Shiro.
Okay,
So yeah,
alright.
Shiro's server. So
Am I not
Shiro's
allowed to-
server sold a bunch of fucking dumbasses who have no taste at all, and half the time the stories they recommend to me, they're like, "Oh, it's a little bit of a rough story, but it's pretty good." I'm like, "Bitch, they fucking misspell 5 words in the first sentence, and the sentence is only made of 4."
Oh,
Hmm.
huh.
This-
See, I don't think I'm
there's
allowed
something
to participate because I'm a mod.
Really?
That makes me
Yeah.
sad. Yeah, the buttons are grayed out. I'm being told no.
Max
Yeah.
can't gamble.
Yeah, no, we're not allowed to.
We must set an example for others.
Yeah, Max, you have to set an example for all the children in the chat. Gambling's bad, so you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
No, you're just not allowed to rig it.
Yeah, we don't want any riggers in here.
No, riggers are bad.
Riggers.
Riggers. Are you sure you've never heard of Revenge of the Sis? They did a whole bit on riggers.
Indeed.
Then it ended with, and don't get me started on the blacks.
No, I think I've heard of that one. Okay, we got 10 points versus 12k. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently
Got some-
Pedro's
sorry.
Got
just
some
retarded.
confident versus some really unconfident people here.
I have already like peeked ahead, like
10 versus
Grammar.
62k.
grammar and whatnot is honestly
60.
like,
No, Jesus Christ. Who
mostly
the fuck dropped
fine.
50? What the fuck?
Come on, people.
How many
place
people are
your
watching
bets.
this?
Place your bets, people. Place your bets. Got a little
I
bit
like
longer.
that.
Going
I
once, going
This
twice.
is hilarious. Only
Bang
one
is
per
over.
4 people have predicted, and that's it.
That's just a
Yeah.
shame. That's an absolute shame, and you should all feel bad about it.
I
There
cast
are
my vote.
100,000 points on the line for this. Sneaky, you should say it's spag even if it's not true.
Swear to God.
I have
You're gonna make me lose all my
power in
fucking
my
challenge points,
hand.
retard.
The power I hold.
Oh god, we're above 100k.
My mom told me
Wait.
to never bet.
And she
Oh,
lied
boy.
about the Bible to convince me not to.
I dropped the 50k. Pedro with the big dope. I hate to
threw
break it to you,
38.
Pedro, but you're gonna be getting a whopping 2 points if you win this one.
Yeah.
So
Return ratio 1 to 1.
Hey, man.
return ratio ain't be doing too good for you, mate.
Sneaky, 2 points is 2 points. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 points of nothing.
That's the whole
of
like
course.
what 6-second of watching.
Yeah, basically. So anyway, this is Advent of the Great Devourer. This is a Overlord original character story. Overlord
Oh,
is
this
in the
can
anime,
only
not
end
the
well.
game. So
Oh, boy.
these stories are typically never good at all because they're usually really cringe. Now there was one Overlord original character story that I thought was actually pretty good. And that story is unfortunately no longer updating. Because of course it
Oh
is.
no.
Who saw that one coming? Me. Yep. But this story is not that one. Unfortunately, this story is still updating. So, Advent of the Great Devourer. What happens when you
When you're-
guys didn't vote Spag? I have some bad news for
Spag,
you.
yes.
We're
Oh,
not
I would have.
even-
I would have voted Spag.
We're not even into
if
the
I'd
first
voted.
fucking sentence of the summary.
I'll be praised.
Look.
I won.
Wait, was it the first thing or was it the most thing?
What happens when possessive form your born into possessive form your favorite novel series as a gamer?
Well, yeah, that second
I
one is
know.
correct, but the first
Yeah.
one's not.
You would think it's all fun and games, and it is, except when it isn't. Trapped
Stop farting around.
200 years before anything happens in canon, how will Magnus Blackwood come into his powers when the advent of the gods is so close at hand? 200 years is close at hand?
I think I'm gonna leave now.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
no problem.
There's nothing here for me.
No problem. You have a good night.
Only pain.
Good night.
What allies will our newly reborn vampire make? And will they be enough? Question mark. Which the author then proceeds to immediately answer his own question by singing OP original character.
Wow.
Way to just spoil it right there. Good job.
Gamer story, alternative universe. 6
Wow,
chapters,
really?
67k words, so he's got a respectable 10k chapter, so we're not going to be focusing too much on the exact precise content of the story. Because I will reveal to you all the truth. The truth is that I read this story and the game was rigged from the start.
Oh, fuck.
Of course.
God damn it. You actual motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have never played.
Uh,
At least I only lost
You know-
12.5k.
I've Sneaky. I don't think I've ever taken a bet with you unless I was positively certain there was no way you could have seen something ahead of time. Like I know
Yeah.
you. Like, hey Max, want to make a bet? I don't know, Sneaky. Since you're the one initiating it, I'm not so sure.
Sneaky's the one attempting to initiate the bet. The answer is no.
Cancel
No.
trade. Cancel trade.
I win the bet.
This
So
is
you're
my
supposed to be a
first
fucking millionaire?
attempt at writing an Overlord fanfic. Something I've been meaning to try for a while now, but will
Hopefully
never
it's his
get
last,
the
too.
motivation properly to do so. Truly, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just can't find the enthusiasm to write this or my other story. So,
So I decided to write something worth.
yes. So I want you all to pay really close attention to how he puts the dialogue legend at the start of the story. I want you to pay really close attention to the exact placement of how he dialogue tags. Because that's going to become important.
Mm-hmm.
Info drop. Please note how the conversation works, because this will be the style I use going forward. This is a fic I've wanted to write for a long time. So I hope this is a good introduction. Now, I do want to, before I start this, I never actually checked what country this guy is from. Unknown.
We're probably gonna be disappointed if it's an English-speaking country.
Unknown.
Sure.
Really
Okay. I'll be
cringe
back in a
shit on
moment.
his, story. Okay, so anyway. He opened his eyes and looked around, a black void as far as he could see, no punctuation. Where am I? He asked, confused, without punctuation. A moment ago, he was ellipsy. Now that he thought about it, he couldn't really remember what happened before. No punctuation. X-X. You died. X-X. He jumps back as the screen appears in front of him, period. He tilts his head, examining it for a while before he responds again with no punctuation. So, ellipses. What happens now? Question mark. He replies, more confused than anything else without punctuation. X-X. You got lucky. Possessive form, you're being reincarnated as one of Gaia's chosen gamers. No punctuation. X-X. A gamer, he shouts, glee filling his voice without punctuation. X-X. Well then, looks like possessive form, you're excited to get started. We can start with character creation, no punctuation. X-X. A screen
I'm going to reincarnate you into a corpse.
appears.
Actual fucking autist.
A screen appears in front of him. A blank human shape in the center as he thinks without punctuation. X-X. Please choose the desired race. Human, angel, demon, undead, beast. X-X.
Then what's this racism?
Yes.
In my gamer fic? Damn, it must really be a gamer fic then.
Indeed. He tapped on each of the options, watching as they seemed to have different characteristics, period. Humans changed with him to an average appearance, while angels merely added a pair of white wings. period. Demon changed those into Batwing, while Undead changed him into Skeleton, period. Beast seemed to change him into a furry with large ears
Disgusting.
and a tail, period. Upon each race, he noticed a list of different types that fit under the category, and scrolling back to the ones that interested him the most, no punctuation. I'm not particularly attached to my humanity, so let's explore this a bit, no punctuation. I'm going to stop with the X-X so I can accelerate through this a little bit faster.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No problem. So anyway, angels, blah, 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 no punctuation. Weaknesses, dark, known evolutions, blah, blah, blah. Demon Imp. Starting race of demons, period. Blah, 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 no punctuation. Weaknesses, holy, blah, 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 evolutions. Beast,
How many
magic.
of those X's do you think make up the word count?
I
Far
have
too
no
many.
idea what you just said.
How many of the line marks like make up of the word count?
Oh,
The
I would say
percentage.
probably a lot. Probably
Yeah.
probably at least like a couple hundred words.
Oh, easily.
Beast, magic. A creature born through an abundance of magic power, period. Blah, 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 no punctuation. Beast, normal. A beast normally born into the world, period. Blah, 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 no punctuation. Undead, skeleton. As a skeleton, you are undead, filled with negative energy, period. Blah, 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 no fucking punctuation. So the guy clearly knows how to use periods, is what I'm trying to get at. He clearly knows how to use commas. But for some fucking reason, at the end of every single goddamn paragraph, he feels
Yo.
like punctuation becomes an optional thing to do. Sort of like how people go, oh, well, if the stop sign has a white border, that means it's optional.
Oh,
No,
Hello,
it
bot.
fucking doesn't,
just
author.
gonna.
Yeah, give him the old yeet.
Oh, that's very cool, bot. You should really
There we
check
are.
out this. Yeah, thank you, Max. I hate you.
Didn't you have
Sneaky.
decency to stick around in the viewer list? The bastard.
Mm.
It was a hit and
Fucker.
run.
It was a bot hit and run, man. Fucking robots these days. No manners. So yeah. Anyway, so this guy just literally just does this the entire fucking fic. And it's super fucking cringe too. No fucking punctuation. Like whenever it's inside a paragraph, punctuation. Ending a paragraph, no fucking punctuation. I'm not sure where he learned to write English, but whoever taught him English should be shot.
Counterpoint. I don't think he learned.
I mean, that's
I think
fair.
it's just like a monkey with a typewriter.
That's also a fair point. It should still be shot.
Well, yeah, of course. Didn't say it shouldn't be.
I
I'm just
also really love
stating.
this right here. Choose your class: swordsman, spearman, brawler, archer, rogue, mage, custom.
Custom. Well, that's totally not open to abuse at all.
He chooses mage.
Yeah, of course. Masturbation time.
And then he chooses warlock, which arbitrarily has 35 ranks. Why does it have 35 ranks? I don't know.
Oh, fucking funny number.
So yeah. Anyway, he's talking with the gaming platform, which for some reason is an asshole.
I do not like and talk to my Xbox.
Yeah.
I mean, not an
it's-
Xbox.
Will you tell me where I am? No. It is clearing in forest at night right now. There are human around, but good walk away. You can probably see the fire. Alright. Am I supposed to fight them?
It sounds like the
Find out
worst fucking
yourself.
game
I
ever.
won't
not
tell
gonna lie.
you things. Okay. So then he goes and looks at all of the 3 adventurers that he found, and their descriptions that he uses observe on. Their descriptions literally read, definitely a good meal for a vampire just starting out. That's what their descriptions read as.
Hmm.
He's a vampire.
Is that
by the
what's
way.
called foreshadowing?
Yeah, it's called foreshadowing. He apparently
Huh.
stabs someone in the throat to disable their vocal cords.
I mean,
Which I mean, yeah,
I
it's,
guess.
it's fine and all, but like he stabbed them in the throat to disable their vocal cords, but they aren't bleeding out.
What would you say?
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
I see no issues here.
C8, he's reading it not like it has worse grammar than it does. He's reading it like it has horrible punctuation and grammar.
Which,
Yeah. It does.
Those
It
tend to
does.
compound together for reading experiences.
So yeah. Anyway, so he just has a bunch of dialogue. And then for some reason just starts compounding the dialogue together. So
Of course.
it's you monster, no punctuation, new paragraph, no spacing. That I am what of it? Question mark. And that's all of it. All of his dialogue is written. It's actually written in the I know this style. This is the machine translated
Contempt
English style that you see in lots of web novels that are machine translated.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how English is written in the machine translated web novels. It's one of the most infuriating things I've ever seen. It is a distinct sign of absolute laziness that you can't even bother to properly format it. Like,
Of course.
I get that you got the machine to translate it, but for fuck's sake, format it at least before you post it. Like Christ. So yeah, it's just really honestly cringe. The entire thing through is just cringe. And so he levels up and he's like, "Hey game, can I get this power?" And the game's like, "Well, let me search through the database of spells. Yeah, this spell exists, so here it is. You have this power now." That's how that works. Games just search stuff for you. So yeah, there's so much of the word count of this story specifically is dedicated specifically towards just retyping his character sheet over and over again.
Gamer fix. Yup.
So anyway, he uses his warlock powers to get the powers from the 7 Deadly Sins story.
Why?
Because reasons. Also, he found a world item at level 1. He found a world item from a gacha.
Yes.
The gacha gave him a random world item called the Nameless
Because those
Book
were
of
just
Spells. Yeah.
included in there.
Yeah. The Nameless Book of Spells literally has a self-updating index of every single spell in existence. And if you own the Book of Spells, you know every single spell in existence. Self-updating. So if anyone invents a new spell, you automatically know it.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's yeah, start item. Yeah.
Very
good start item.
balanced
You know,
character.
That third item right there seems like sort of a balance issue on that. Immune to other world items.
That's actually just a standard.
That's a standard
so
in Overlord?
In Overlord, that's actually a standard because the world items can't affect other players with world items. It was basically made so you couldn't be like, oh, well, that person's a mage, and I really hate them being a mage, so I'm going to use this world item to delete their class. And if they have a world item, they can't be affected by that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would say it was actually a relatively interesting idea that my world item, right, doesn't matter if it's the most useless world item in the world, it makes me immune to all of the other ones.
Yeah.
Um,
So you couldn't specifically target certain players who are already powerful.
Yeah. Story-wise, makes sense. Game balance-wise, kind of fucking whack, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, to be
yeah.
fair, game balance-wise, the developers of Yggdrasil were proven to be time and time again, with every lore drop we get from Overlord, to be absolutely the worst fucking developers ever.
Well, yeah. That, fair
Good.
enough.
It's the SAO problem. Have you ever played an MMO, sir?
No,
Yeah.
like literally throughout the story, the main character literally says these fucking shitty developers over and over again, and it was apparently just a commonly known thing that the developers were absolute garbage at balancing their game, and they utterly love to troll their player base.
The entire player base was like, "Could you guys stop dicking us over for 5 minutes?
Could you stop dicking us over for 5 minutes?"
Oof.
No.
Also, I'd love to see a Dark Souls crossover with this now, and it's like, okay, well, I get a gift, right? You can pick the pendant. Is that it? Make the pendant a world item. The most useless world item.
Also, fucking the Witch's Ring. I saw a Dark Souls story recently refer to the Witch's Ring as a useless item. I'm like, look here, you little bitch.
Whoa, no, hang on a second, hang on.
Look here, you little shit.
The pendant is actually a useless item. The Witch's Ring gets you lore.
Like, at least you could get lore.
Look here, you little shit.
Like, Miyazaki ran that for so long too, where it's like, my favorite item is the pendant, and it finds like, oh no, the pendant literally does nothing. It's just a role-playing item. That's
My
it.
favorite item is the pendant. Why is the pendant your favorite item? Because I am a troll.
The epic troll face.
So yeah, anyway, this story is goddamn garbage, and I hate the author's existence, and the fact that he's continuing to exist is actually offensive to my existence, and I would appreciate if the author would take my offense into account and stop existing. You know, so he doesn't offend too many people. Just, Same. Now, I will say a whopping 400 people favorited this story, and all 400 of these people should be absolutely ashamed that they too are existing, and I will absolutely kink shame every last one of you.
Wait, of us or them?
No, the 400 people that favorited this story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fair enough. Just weird wording on that one.
Did you learn to write English from a machine-translated web novel? Because it certainly reads like it. Maybe actually pass an English class before writing it.
I want to tell him to stop, but he is technically putting very constructive criticism in this.
Yeah, Sneaky is a good guy, you know.
No.
He's not.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to take your word about someone being a good person. Let's be real.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, we already covered this story as well. Let me just coverage fix. I apparently forgot to put that in the coverage fix. Whoopsie daisy. Let's see. Kitsen in a dungeon. Wait, did we already do Kitsen in a dungeon?
I don't know.
I don't think we did.
Wait.
How's about we say we did?
Yeah, can we like not?
Okay. All right. So we got 3 choices here. We got 3 choices here. I'll do the prediction now. The prediction management. Congratulations to Mighty Morgoth, the only person who voted for Spag.
The billionaire.
That man just became rich in channel.
Yeah, like 100k in seconds.
Like it matters.
It doesn't, but you know.
Number go up. Speaking of number go up,
Reddit, but I still farm them.
Speaking of number go up, I fucking sold just in time on a bunch of stuff earlier. And I was just like, oh, fucking sweating bullets, like fucking dodging. Dodging drops left and right.
Very nice.
Yes, I thought so as well. But anyway. Oh, boy, okay. I'm just looking at... yeah, okay. So we're actually gonna split this in between two. You guys can actually spend your channel points on this one. I'm just kidding. Alright, so we got Attack on Titan, we got Don Machi, and we got a Naruto Don Machi story. You guys can now pick your poison.
Naruto Danmachi.
I don't recall ever seeing a Naruto Danmachi, so that might be like a.
I was gonna say, yeah, I guess we'll take that.
Alright.
Go for it.
We're probably gonna regret it.
Oh,
but it'll be.
Oh yeah,
new-ish.
absolutely.
When don't we?
Out a down.
Never.
There used to be some days where when Tuesday came around, about a third of the time it'd be, oh wait, we're looking at a good story because it impressed us on Friday. We don't do that anymore.
That's because nothing impresses us anymore.
I was never
Everything's
impressed.
shit.
So this is a Naruto dungeon story. A Kitsune in the Dungeon by the Fallen One 2012. Gods and goddesses have descended to the world below to bestow great powers upon mortals, so they may become heroes possessive.
Mm-hmm.
However, no comma, a certain blonde wants nothing more than to have a good time and show the world that he's number one. Naruto times harem, but not a big one. So,
He's number one. Hey.
I can already see this being a story that I utterly despise, because I'm really starting to get the feeling
absolutely.
that this is a fusion world.
Oh yeah,
not a
absolutely.
crossover.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is.
Aurario is a bustling city with blah 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 dungeon, blah 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 dungeon. Adventurers. However, one child does not view being an adventurer as a fun pass space time.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Or a way to gain fame. He views it as a way to protect those that he loves and those that can't protect themselves. Author. How have you managed to contradict yourself within 2 sentences?
You know.
Skillfully.
Yeah,
However,
with an
a
artful
certain
twist.
blonde wants nothing more than to have a good time. However, the certain blonde does not view being an adventurer as a way to have a good time.
If this is a Naruto that's not having to worry about impressing a village, he would definitely be doing this for a good time.
Oh, he undoubtedly would be doing this for a good time. This is a story of a boy and his friends who brave the dungeon to find the power they need to defend their comrades. Which again, I'm kind of actually confused about, because the thing is with Aurario and Don Machi in general, is everything's pretty peaceful, all things considered. The dungeon's pretty much handled by this point in the story. Well, obviously, in the future, you know, shit happens. Rika attacks at one point or something. But, yeah,
There's a lot of stuff in the background in the side stories that they reveal, but like for the purposes of being Don Machi, that doesn't matter until like volume 8 or 9.
Right, exactly. And so it's a really large moment of where I'm just sitting here being like, buddy, what the fuck? Because it's like, You, as a child, growing up in a relatively safe city like Orario, like all things considered, it's a fairly safe city. You wouldn't be growing up with like, I need to gain power to protect the people I love, because you wouldn't even be thinking about the people you love being in danger. That wouldn't even be a fantasy in your head.
I was
Like
gonna say
that,
they're all pretty secure.
Yeah.
like
If
you don't sit there never having seen a house fire being like, I need to become a firefighter to prevent my house from ever catching on fire, when you've never seen a house fire before. You just literally wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So
There's the most that you could push this would be like, I'm sending money home to my poor
Right.
village in the middle of nowhere of the continent.
Or
Like,
maybe even
a
like
mega
I could
kill.
maybe sort of understand that if it's like a situation where he's an orphan, and it's like, oh, I need to get power so I can kill big monsters, so the orphanage can get more money. Then it's like, okay, fine, yeah, that makes sense, you know. But it's not
Yeah.
that. He doesn't say that. He says protect his comrades, which again is a very interesting wording, because this is supposed to be a child, so I'm really confused as to who's his comrades already.
Well, obviously he's a communist, so
Of
everyone's
course,
his
he's a
comrade.
he's gonna seize the dungeon for the people.
We fight for more land.
It would be whoever his familia is, wouldn't it?
Right,
I
but
mean, that's assuming he has one.
Max, the problem with that is that he would, the familia is the path to power, not the reason for power. In this case, like, he wouldn't join a familia and then saying, I need power to protect them. He would join a familia because he wants power to protect something. Because that's how you become an adventurer, is by joining a familia. That's literally putting the cart before the horse. So I'm really, really interested to see where this author takes this, because I have no fucking idea how he's going to square this circle.
You know?
XX
With great
Guild
difficulty.
XX. Ina, care to help me out here? No, Misha, the half-elf replied with blah blah blah, paperwork, anime tears, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, usual cause of curiosity, blah. She looked up and her eyes came across three figures. One wore a fur-hooded long coat that fell to his knees and was black, with orange flames around sleeve cuffs and the bottom trim of coat, as well as rim of hood. Under that, he wore a black shirt with metal chest plate that had spiral carved into it, with a nine-tailed fox circling the spiral. He wore a simple black pants with metal shine guards and orange boots. Yeah, I'm waiting.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would he have fucking nine-tailed fox motifs if he's
Fuck you, that's
in
why.
the Naruto world?
Because
Yeah.
he's Naruto. He's Naruto
Naruto.
Uzumaki, even though the Uzumaki don't
Yeah.
exist here. He's
I
Naruto
bet he fucking
Uzumaki.
eats ramen too.
He loves ramen, and he's got a nine-tailed fox. That's how you know he's Naruto.
And he says, believe it.
Oh yes, of course, that too.
Better
Only if you
fucking
only
believe
watch
it.
the English anime. The
That's the bio.
second figure wore a black cloak that covered up pretty much his entire body, but he had it opened in the front so she could see the white part chainmail shirt. The white part chainmail shirt. What?
What?
Is it part chainmail? That's.
That would be the stupidest thing I've heard.
I mean, it exists. It's called half chain. It exists.
But like,
You have to be really poor to consider it. Like, it's almost not worth the effort, and it wasn't worth the effort to a lot of people. A lot of people just went with a Gambinson.
Yeah.
And if you were feeling really fancy, you just got a full chain.
Or a plate if you're like a fucking lord or something.
Or knight.
Really, the only reason to wear full plate was if you like.
Well, I mean, the thing is with full plate is you weren't just wearing plate. It was literally plate on top of chainmail on top of a Gambinson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Composite armor.
I know. It was also shockingly light. It was like, what was it, 20, 30 pounds?
It's like, I think a full set is like 12 to 20 pounds
Yeah.
of like
Like-
full plate armor and everything.
Yeah, like considering
Pretty
that you're
impressive.
wearing a giant hunk of metal, surprisingly light.
Yeah,
Yep.
surprisingly
I had to
light.
be trained to like be able to be as mobile as possible with armor on, like a full set of armor.
And I mean, if you are trained, you are pretty mobile. I've seen the videos. You can be pretty fucking mobile with it.
I mean, the best example is the guy who is like fucking cha-cha slide or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, granted, he is practically dying by the end of that video, but that's because like actual dance is incredibly aerobic.
Wow. Really? No way.
Fuck you. Have a nice day.
I like how one of the few characters who was a poor orphan would have more reasons to go into the dungeon than Naruto. Big think. Let me gamble my money, says Pedro. Fuck you.
Brazilian is addicted to gambling.
It's too late. We've already started the story. I'm not going to delay longer just so we can have a gambling time. So anyway, he had underneath the cloak, along with also, if only the he had opened up the front, so the entire front was open. Okay. Also, it's a cloak. The cloaks weren't the full body cover, were they? Or I thought that was cowls.
No, cloak's a
Covers
full
the
body
head.
cover.
No,
Yeah,
no,
cowl's
cowl.
the
Yeah.
Like, a
Cowl is
cowl
just
covers
head.
your head. A cloak is just.
Full body, ain't it?
Wait, hold on. I saw a picture. Yeah, so here we go. I believe that. Oh, of course, it's fucking Pinterest. Pinterest, you apps. Oh, fuck off. That's in Brazilian. I can't read that. Fucking Pinterest.
Get Pedro to translate.
Can we not?
Pedro can eat ass. Okay.
Pedro can eat a little ass as a treat.
As you say, let's not threaten Pedro with a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows, he might like it.
Alright, let's try
Really
this.
does, honestly. What else are you supposed to do in the favela? Other than crime?
What's the difference? Okay, here we go. A long outer garment worn over the shoulders that covers the back, often with a hood, cloak. A monk hood or a hooded robe, cowl. I knew it was the cowl.
Done.
So,
Can they be like that sometimes?
a cloak is not a robe. A cloak is not worn around the front. Like, that's a cowl. So this author is dumb, first off. Second off,
Wow, really?
yeah, I know, it's a shocking
No
discovery.
way. Would never know.
Second off, he has it open in the front, which implies that it can close, which implies that it's not something that's just worn around the neck, down your back. Which, I don't know why the author didn't clue in on that one. It's a full body robe, so it's a robe? No, it's a cloak!
Well, clearly the author didn't do the research.
Shocking. Shocking
It's about that
discovery.
simple.
So anyway, along with his cloak being completely open in the front, like cloaks always are, he underneath the cloak, he apparently was completely visible, despite the fact that the author just said that he was not in fact visible. Because you can see his dark purple pants with armored hip plates. You know, the thing that actually would be covered up by a cloak is visible. So I'm really not sure how much this cloak is covering his entire body if you can see his hips.
Well,
Sneaky, you're using logic again. It's very offensive.
Knee plates and
Maybe it's
shin
this,
guards.
actually.
Okay. Kind of confused. So this is another thing I really hate about fantasy tropes and how Hollywood's really ruined it. Because, like, people are like, oh, I wear protection on my knees, and so they don't get hit. It's like, okay, so then the thing that hits you slides off your knee protection and cuts your leg out.
Yes.
Yeah, good thing you protected your knees.
Excellent tactic.
So it's like, oh, soccer players wear knee guards. It's like, no, we don't.
Soccer players aren't getting stabbed.
Some
Usually.
soccer players also
Usually.
aren't fighting bears.
Yeah, well, Russia, maybe.
Maybe, yeah,
Soccer
maybe in
players
Russia.
aren't going to Brazil any single day.
Yeah, they just
I would
don't
say-
want to become Skyrim guards. Ah, yes, of course.
Former adventurer here. Yeah.
Did you take an arrow to the knee, Sonny Jim?
Anyway,
yeah, actually.
so his arms are covered in slim, black, fingerless gauntlets. Why would you have fingerless gauntlets?
You know, that's a very good question.
That's a lot of punching power he's just giving up by getting rid of the fingers.
Well, not only that, it's a lot of distributed power that's going straight into the finger bones now. Because if they're fingerless, that means that they're halfway, so because you have to get them around the fingers. And if they're plated gauntlets, that means when he punches something, all of that metal is going to dig into the front part of his knuckle instead of being distributed along the entire metal plate.
Maybe he wanted, I don't actually know the technical term for them, but like wrist to forearm guards.
Oh,
'Cause those don't fight, but like they're not gauntlets. Gauntlets are very specifically
bracers.
Bracers,
yeah.
that's the word.
Or van
he
braces.
might-
It depends on how much coverage you want.
Yeah, he might have been going for that. Just didn't know what the fuck the term was.
No, he
Whereas I
he
just forgot.
specifically said fingerless gauntlets, which means fingerless specifically refers to having the 2 digits. Well, it stops at the for second digit, but it refers to having the last digit on each finger being opened. It does exist. It's just really fucking dumb, and wasn't really used and never really caught on, because it turns out that it didn't stop people from chopping off your fingers, because again, when someone hits the metal part of the armored gauntlet and the sword slides off of it, it just digs into your fleshy part that isn't covered by the metal. Because
The only
Shocking.
reason someone might wear fingerless gloves
is you're that poor.
is, well, either A, they're that poor, or B, to have the
Archers.
advantage of a glove, right? To have the advantage of a covered palm for the purposes of grip,
That's
but to
also fair
maintain
enough,
dexterity in their fingers, which you would only have on either, like,
yeah. Archers.
archers or thieves.
Yeah.
Well, thieves, rogue type individual.
Yeah, but
like,
the rogues and thieves, those types wouldn't really be using plate, as he is.
no, you're right, but my point is, like, right, those are the right.
Yeah.
The only reason you would wear fingerless gloves in a combat situation is if making sure that you have optimum dexterity with your fingers at all times.
Was actually important. Yeah, but even then, most archers were issued cowhide gloves and whatnot, like full gloves.
Yeah, but
Because
just say that
bows
there's
hurt.
Wow.
Shocker, guys. Bows, they hurt because physics.
I would say that thwack you're hearing on like videos, that hurts. That's the sound of pain.
Brazilian
Really?
robbers are more likely to ask a soccer player's autograph than rob them. Also fair. Soccer players also have amazing legs and will cannon you in the nuts. And not only will you feel it, but your grandfather will feel it, and you'll de-exist.
That.
Yeah,
Very
I
impressive.
can attest to that. I've
say,
done that.
Not inaccurate.
Wouldn't thieves be hiding in plain clothes? Also true, yes. Like I said, I really despise the Hollywood and more specifically fantasy games that really kind of popularized that sort of stuff. Because now people are like, my character's got fucking fingerless gloves and it's so cool. It's like, buddy, I want to fucking punch you. This is coming from someone who had.
Part of that is absolutely FF15's fault.
This is coming from someone who had fingerless gloves, and yeah, I actually use them properly. I use them for biking, because you don't want full gloves when you're biking unless you're like probably.
Some for biking too.
When
I was like a kid.
Biking, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you want to be able to skid with your palms if you do fall, so that's what they're very useful for. But at the same time, your hands get so fucking hot when you're wearing leather gloves, and so unless you really want the full coverage, to have fingerless gloves, which is good, But
well, mine weren't that. They were just like normal gloves with fingers cut off.
Oh no, mine were thick fingerless leather gloves. Yeah.
Yeah, mine were just like normal woolen gloves. Well, not woolen,
They
but
made great padding for punching people too.
Yeah, can imagine so. Yeah.
But anyway, so enough about my past. But anyway, I just hate this. So anyway, yeah, it's fingerless plate gloves, because reasons. And on his waist were twin tantos. This is another thing. So a tanto doesn't have a guard. The last thing you want to not have a guard with is gloves that don't cover your fingers. Because that's the other reason why swords normally have guards, is to cover your fingers, so you don't get your fingers cut off and drop your sword. Tantos don't have those. So,
Yeah.
One Tanto was silver, and the other Tanto was black. His face was uncovered. What part of him is covered then? The second figure wore a black cloak that covered up pretty much his entire body, except for the entire fucking body, apparently. Like, literally, this author, like, it'd be one thing if the author was describing what was underneath the cloak, but he's in sentence saying, like, she sees his hip plates, she sees his fingerless gloves, she sees his face. It's like, okay, then what part can't she fucking see? Why are you describing him as completely covered by something if someone just walks over and is like, I can describe accurately every single body part on you? Except your dick, because of how microscopic it is.
Yeah, science in this world hasn't advanced that far.
Maybe she's secretly a Hyuga.
Ooh. Now that would be a meta burn, wouldn't it? Ugh. You can never use that insult properly, except to reference the people who aren't there. Science in this world hasn't advanced far enough for me to see the size of your dick.
Yeah.
Because only people that know what you're talking about would be able to get that joke. But you, as a person who's incarnated into the world where science hasn't advanced... I mean, unless you were incarnated with friends, I guess. You'd be the only one that got the joke. So anyone
Yeah, well,
reading your
that would
story
imply
be
any
the
of us had friends.
I know, right? Oof. Anyway, so, yeah, his face was uncovered so she could see his raven black hair and raven black eyes and pale complexion. And he did wear a bandana, however, with a silver flame trim around his head covering up his hair, leaving few strands of his bangs to hang from the side of the bandana as it covered up his forehead. Okay. The third and final member had striking pink hair and a diamond tattoo on her forehead. So Shippuden looks for all of the characters, except they fell through a fantasy store. Fantasy cosplay store. Okay. And she wore a red robe dress like a kimono. Okay, Ino wouldn't know what a kimono is.
Every time you say Aina, I just hear Ina and I want to physically end myself.
Ina.
Don't make me associate Ina with this fucking garbage.
That's fair enough. Heinous. But it was cut at the hips.
Pain.
Unlike a kimono.
Suffering even. Agony, if you will.
What cuts a kimono at the hips? What the fuck?
That's a common thing I've seen in fan art.
I think that's more folding than cutting, I think.
No, the whole slit from the hip to the down to the leg.
Oh no!
That's not supposed to be part of a kimono, though.
Whatever.
God, I don't fucking know.
But Cheongasm, sorry, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't fucking care. It all looks the same to me. But it was cut at the hips, leaving two flaps in the front and back that went down to her knees. She also had a chest plate and shoulder guard duo.
As opposed to
Shoulder guard trio, I guess.
I guess.
I guess we're in Warcraft land.
I was gonna say I guess we're in Pokemon, but yeah. Get guard trio.
Yes. Yeah. Funny.
You think you're funny, but
I do. I think
this one
hilarious.
wasn't.
The funny with no brain.
Strapped together with the black leather X strap. Yes, the famous leather X strap. Famously known across all armor designs. Leather straps. Her armed were bare.
Armed were bare.
Her armed were bare, except for the part where she was wearing gloves that went past her wrist. Okay. On her leg, she wore knee-length armored boots. How do you get your foot out of that?
Well, my hammer.
Uh,
Just fucking destroy your foot with a hammer. Slide it out. Reassemble the pieces.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, those boots would actually have to be in pieces. That sounds like
The
a pain in
boots
the
are made
ass.
for. No, I meant the foot in pieces. You, like,
How does
shatter
she
your
walk?
bones.
Like, wait, if it's a foot length, if it's a knee length boot, that means her ankle couldn't turn. How the fuck does she walk? Just like fucking tilting back and forth.
She sneaky. She aggressively T-poses.
She T-poses so hard she starts hovering forward.
Yes. Dominance asserted. Flight mode engaged.
Indeed.
Just like start spinning while T-posing.
Wait, also, I'm really curious as to this one. This is like some Dota shit right here, Atin. On her legs, she wore boots.
Hey, wait a minute.
That's some Dota shit
You
right
see, as I am Viper, I wear boots on my wings.
there. Yeah, they make me go faster.
Excellent.
How does Broodmother wear boots? You see...
She buys 8 pairs. Now you might say, that's too many boots, even for a spider. She needs extras for the kids.
Of course.
And the boots were made for walking.
No. Her boots were made for scuttling.
No, well, close
horrifying scuttling.
Horrifying scuttling indeed. The trio walked forward to the magic stone turn desk as they each placed equally large stacks into the turn-in bin. Then the hooded one took out more. Then the hooded one took out on more and opened it to reveal large magic stone that was most likely from a mini boss from the dungeon. It took a minute, but the bin returned with 6 bags filled with Valis. So a bunch of fucking money. Excellent work as always, the clerk behind the counter said as the 3 nodded. These 3 were the top ranked adventurers in Aurario. From the top 30 familia in the city, the Karama familia.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Can someone choose this fucker already?
Naruto was known as the Golden Kitsune.
Fuck me.
Sasuke was known as the Midnight Raven.
Uh,
While Sakura was just known as Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I wish.
Don't you insult Crash Bandicoot.
wait, is it? That's not actually.
No, it's not actually Crash Bandicoot.
Okay.
It's just Crash.
Fucking obvious.
Again, it's
Wait.
another moment where it's like I wouldn't be surprised.
She's just
wouldn't.
called Crash.
Why would she be known as Crash?
Because she punches things really hard, because she learned from Tsunade in episode 92 how to
She's a
punch things
bandicoot.
really hard.
No.
She also learned
She's
how to
called
drink a red
Crash
wine
because
in the
she
ice cream.
keeps crashing because she can't walk.
Oh, right,
She
of
also
course.
learned how
She
to
keeps falling
be a
into
woman.
things. That's why she's called
Get
Crash.
domestic
Because
abuse.
she's wearing boots on her legs that for some reason cover her whole
Just
knee.
fell into the door. That's why she got a black eye.
Yeah, that's why she got a back clock.
That's what my mom tells me, right? That makes sense.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just walked into the door handle
Um,
accidentally. It happens.
Of course.
Also, Naruto
That's
has
my
a
dad always said
foxtail coming out of his asshole. It's non-removable.
Man, another furry? God, I get enough of those on another server. Fuck.
And so, then the 3 adventurers noticed that there was a bunch of beat-up adventurers behind them, and they gave them 100k. And they said, here you go, here's a small loan of 100k. Are you sure? We didn't earn it. Yeah, just think of it as a jump
small
start.
loan of $1 million. We
Yeah,
owe
the
you
adventures
now.
then went on to become the president of the United States of America.
Indeed. Misha waved at Naruto. Oi, Foxy. He rolled his
Oi,
eyes
mate.
at his nickname.
Wait,
Oh,
hey, Foxy.
Pinky, what do you need? What?
Oi, vey, furry.
Can't I call my favorite adventurer a friendly word?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
That
Hold on. I'm
Why?
muted, okay.
I mean,
hold
okay,
that in.
You know-
he's not wrong.
I couldn't hold
Yeah.
that in.
Understandable. You should be very glad I could.
Sure, if you weren't using him as a way to slack off on your work, Sasuke answered as he walked over. Wait, she wasn't fucking talking to you. She was talking to Naruto. How was the dungeon crawl? Fine until the gorilla knocked down the floor, sending us down 2 low levels. Sakura threw her hands in the air. I did it accidentally.
Wait, not down the. I guess you could technically do that, but
Punching through 2 whole levels of the dungeon would set off probably a mini boss event. Just probably where the mini boss came from. Sakura, an accident is when you do it the first time. The 7th time is being careless. Or maybe she's just a fight junkie and wants to get to the bigger fights immediately. Also, I'm pretty sure at the 7th time of punching through the dungeon, because the dungeon tries to kill people really hard when you break its walls. I'm pretty sure at the 7th time, it would try really, really, really hard to kill you.
Also,
Yeah,
this demon.
that gets. Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah, but if she didn't break the floor, we wouldn't have found these two. They were hit by something that put them to sleep. Thought it was a monster, then threw that out the window, seeing that they were alive, and B, all their stuff was stolen, so it was clearly the Soma family that stole their stuff. That's a jump.
Curious.
Of course,
Very
it has to
good
be the Soma.
That's just a fucking absolute jump to conclusions right there. Despite making up only 2% of the population of Aurario, the Soma family commits 100% of the robberies, apparently. Enough that the Naruto can just be like, yo, it was clearly them. Even though I have absolutely no proof at all. It was obviously the Soma
Half
family.
the crimes.
Danmachi.
Very interesting, author. Very interesting. So they knew members of the Mika family. They need help. On that note, we leave you to your work. Wait, come on. Tell me more of the story. I am bored. She cried anime tears as they walked away. Saw a few people out, but most were either home or in their familia's base. Wanna swing by the hostess of fertility to get a bite? Naruto asked his team, and they were like, okay. Something tells me it isn't food you are going for, right, Naya? She said, making cat noise, causing Naruto to blush. No, he huffed and began capitalized running as Sakura chased him, making meow noises, with Sasuke sighing as he took off after the two. And then they got to the red
If-
sky.
if you got 6
General
hours-
public are concerned.
I mean,
What? What about 6 hours? Oh. Oh, the audio's just cutting in and out. Discord, what's going on, Discord? Your ping is 25, and your outbound packet loss rate is 0%. Yet, for some reason, I cannot... RTC connecting. Okay, that's... okay. Discord RTC connecting. I see. My internet is going the bad. Interesting, but it says my streaming is not affected. How is my streaming going?
looks fine to me.
Yeah, I can't hear us on the stream.
Yeah, that's
Very-
because you guys cut out for like a solid couple minutes.
Damn.
Oh, you were having conversations during those couple minutes.
Yeah, I know. I ignored you all because I couldn't hear you.
Curious.
I'm really confused as to why I'm getting RTC connection errors.
Because
Is it-
you're you.
Is it time to swap regions again?
No, because remember, that was happening to us last night.
Yeah, oh yeah. If it's hitting you in a group chat, it still wouldn't fix the issue.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is fucking weird.
Might need to go kick your router.
I just did a speed test, and I just tested like my internet's loading fine. I'm not having any drops frames on the stream. My stream is up fine. Just did a download speed test and an upload speed test, and both returned at 1 gigabyte per second. I, honest to God, have no fucking clue what's wrong.
Damn. Life.
Yeah, life be like that, yo. So let's just hope. So, is there any relevancy to what you guys were discussing?
No, not really.
No, someone was just asking if season 1 of Danmachi was okay to watch, which it's okay. It's an underdog story. Don't know shit about season 2 though. Haven't really been paying attention.
That's fair, yeah.
Don't really care enough.
Yeah, I watched like 2 episodes, got bored, dropped it.
Premise didn't really appeal, so no.
Yeah, season
Yeah.
2 started out really
Nice
weak.
But anyway, so did you guys hear anything? See anything about what part did I tune out on for you guys?
No idea. I
Uh,
could the whole time.
I'm really not sure.
Sakura is making cat noises at Naruto, and the writer wrote it as
yes.
meow noises.
Furry, shoot on sight.
And apparently, black-haired cat is capitalized, but girl isn't.
Neither is Tower Babel.
We really know what Naruto's attracted to on that girl. Is that she's a black-haired person.
Furry.
Naruto, welcome, she says without punctuation, and he took off his hood to reveal that he had fox ears and whisker marks. So clever. The Yussel? She asked. You know me so well, he cheered.
The Yuzu all?
Usual?
I know it's supposed to be usual, but I've never seen anyone add an extra L on like that. This is a
Yeah.
first.
Naya, the customers with reservations for some reason capitalized, has arrived. Oh great, Sasuke groaned as Naruto grinned. They're not that bad. They're, wrong form of they're, reckless and have ranks filled with arrogant assholes. Says Sasuke.
Yeah.
They let a stampede of minotaurs possessive form for some reason. So one minotaur, okay. Make it to upper floors, endangering the lives of dozens of low-level adventurers. How are they not that bad? Naruto was silent before he lightly tapped his fist into his open palm in a I got it motion. Their wrong form of there. Jesus Christ, holy shit, author. They're fun to hang out with, and if you can avoid the assholes, they're decent people.
Wow, really?
Wrong form of there again!
It's 2 different forms as well.
He's like just rotating through them like it's fucking Russian roulette. Like, I'll eventually get the bullet!
But no one's told him the bullet wasn't loaded yet.
I wish it was.
Ah, man, come on.
Except for Bete, mangy mutt, Naruto growled, seeing silver-haired werewolf down a mug of beer. So yeah,
What?
anyway, for some reason, Aurario uses United States measurements, such as 8-ounce steaks. And Sasuke is apparently eating just 2 fresh tomatoes.
I feel like people, when they saw like the Naruto book where it said his favorite food was tomatoes, I think they took that a little too literally.
Sasuke
Yeah, no fucking shit.
There's no way he
Sasuke
just eats
subsists
fucking
off of
tomatoes.
only fucking tomatoes. That's all
Yeah.
he eats is just a raw tomato day in and out. Maybe I figured out why his personality is so fucking garbage. I would be a complete shitheel too if all I could ever eat was fucking tomatoes.
Yeah, like, at that point, why live? Like,
man,
I like tomatoes, don't get me
I
wrong.
love ketchup. I fucking hate tomatoes. I hate raw tomatoes. I just cannot stand the taste of a raw tomato.
Damn. Right, you're wrong, but sure.
Now, raw onion. That's good shit. I'll eat a whole fucking raw onion. You can't even stop me.
Well, I mean, I won't stop you, but you're kind of weird, bro.
It's not weird.
But at least when they real the ketchup, that shit good.
Yeah. For the most part, they eat in peace until Bete got one too many mugs of beer, and he lets out a laugh. Also, honestly, getting drunk on beer is probably the most pathetic thing I've ever fucking seen, by the way. Like, that is some lightweight shit.
Yeah.
Especially, like, American beer. Like, holy shit, that stuff's like 2% alcohol.
Piss water.
My
Wait,
piss
how can you
content
call
literally
beer?
has more alcohol
Yeah.
in it than American beer.
No, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, knowing you, but like still, American beer, fucking disgusting. I haven't even tasted it, but I know it's fucking disgusting.
It is like, I've tried American IPAs, I've tried American beers, I've tried American stouts. I literal vomit. It tastes like burned piss.
Yeah.
Not fond of ketchup. It's too sweet for me.
Well,
I mean, it's
maybe
meant to
Brazilian
be a
ketchup.
sweeter condiment. I mean, that's kind of
What
the point.
the fuck are they putting in ketchup in Brazil?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Some sort of fucking biological warfare chemicals.
Ketchup
I don't
is the
know.
most bland ass condiment you can ever put on something, which is why it can go on everything. Like, there is nothing special about ketchup that, like, drastically changes the flavor of anything.
Yeah.
It's a weaker barbecue sauce, which has a lot of sugar in it.
Pretty much. Well,
But, like,
depends on the
ketchup,
type of ketchup.
I mean, I
Also
guess. I
depends on
mean,
the type of barbecue sauce.
it's also true, but I like mine with lots of brown sugar in them.
I'd rather have mine with vinegar based.
Really? Vinegar barbecue?
Yeah.
I like the
Mm.
I like the zest that comes with certain barbecue sauces.
That's fair.
I'm not too big a fan of sweets with my meat. Like, I don't like honey glazed ham very much.
Oh, honey glazed ham is the fucking. I will give you credit though. The vinegar based stuff is pretty good, but I personally like sweetened meat. I think that's really tasty, and as a person who really likes eating meat, it's important. Barbecue sauce and ketchup have around the same amount of sweetness. What the
Well,
fuck is wrong with your country?
Since when?
What the fuck is wrong with your country? Because you're
Brazil.
wrong. I think people have been giving you barbecue sauce and have been calling it ketchup. Because that is the wrong. Everything you just said was incorrect. And I'm sorry that your existence has either been getting very sweet barbecue sauce, very unsweetened barbecue sauce, or very sweet ketchup. And I'm sorry that you've had to live that existence. Now I'm kind of hungry, to be honest.
Bro.
Yeah, I could
Like-
go eat, honestly.
You just
It's
gotta
like
make it
past
another
2
3
a.m.
minutes.
So am I. Can't make
You want to
food.
order pizza and then go get it in the morning?
Genius.
Big brain.
Bruh.
And so anyway, basically canon shit happens here, and instead of how the canon events turn out, where Bet's being an ass and what's his face runs off in shame, Naruto comes over and punches him in the face or something.
Just completely unprovoked.
Well, it's sort of unprovoked. Basically, Bet's mouthing off of like, ha ha ha, did you see that noob? He was like totally covered in blood. He looked like a tomato. It's hilarious.
Time.
And then Naruto
It-
walks up and punches him in the face because he's like, fuck you, bitch. You shouldn't
The paragraph-
be mean.
The paragraph does mention the kids ran away. So basically just canon.
Yeah, like I said, it's
So,
literally just
And
it's literally
from a
just
different
canon.
camera angle, then.
Yeah, basically.
Eh.
Also Naruto punches him. That also happens. That's non-canon.
I assume I've missed
Wow.
nothing of value while I ate my
No,
food.
you've missed absolutely nothing of value.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that Sakura makes cat noises.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that wasn't important either. Just
Yeah, it wasn't really important
you
either.
missed
It's
it.
just you missed
You
that
missed it.
part.
You just missed some cringe.
See.
Yeah.
It seems I picked a good time to eat my dinner.
I guess so. So anyway, Sakura wants a container for the food they ordered. I'm not really sure why you need a container for 2 fucking tomatoes, but okay, whatever.
Wait, 2
Bete,
tomatoes
Tomatoes
constitutes a
somebody.
meal, eh?
Bete's story brought up bad memories for Naruto from his younger days. It brought up bad memories where you justifiably ran away from a monster you couldn't possibly handle and no one got harmed in the event of it.
Wow. What a fucking tragedy.
Yeah,
No one got harmed.
Yeah, so canon is basically the main character in canon encounters the Minotaur and he's running away from it because he's like, holy shit, I'm level 1, I literally can't fight this thing, so I'm gonna run away from it in a panic. Because it's effectively like if a grizzly bear the size of a minivan decided to run at you, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, but like.
Well, no. Let's be clear. It's a grizzly bear that specifically wants to kill.
I have no idea why a story where no one got hurt and he justifiably ran away from something would be categorized as a bad memory for Naruto.
Like, if anything, it's like.
I mean, traumatic? Maybe, depending on how it actually happened.
I mean, I guess you could argue it'd be traumatic, but like, it'd be really hard to argue that it's traumatic. Because, like,
I mean,
the issue is the author is saying it brought up a memory from a time that Naruto had that happen to him, and it's like, okay, so
yeah,
Naruto wasn't hurt at all. No one he knows was hurt. He justifiably ran away from something safely, and the creature chasing him was killed before anyone was injured.
yes.
Except that the memory that the author does with the flashback thing here has no relation to what happened to Belle.
Oh, okay, I see.
Take a look. There's no similarity.
It was a similar memory, except it was actually not similar in any way or at all.
It was completely different.
I see.
Yeah,
That's a very interesting way to say similar memory.
Yeah, like the only way this would be similar is if it was like, oh yeah, so that familia that was literally called the Evils, yeah, we accidentally let some of their members escape and they nearly killed this kid. It's like, sure, that would make sense. But it was a Minotaur.
So, yeah.
Minotaurs are recognized as non-sentient.
Naruto ran down a dirt road before ducking into an ally, before pressing his small child frame into the wall as a couple teenagers passed by. That's very interesting. So, yeah, this has nothing to do with a dungeon or Minotaurs or people being chased. This has completely different. Where'd that freak go? Why are we wasting time on this loser? Let's go hang with girls. Hey, little demon, where ya going? Anyone help me, the boy mentally prayed as he ran through the ally, but was stopped when he was pulled back by someone yanking on his shirt. That's really weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I really hope the author isn't going to try and tell us Naruto's story that leads up to the point where he's a total badass and nothing threatens him through just flashbacks. That'd be really bad
Probably.
if the author just
Yeah.
relied on purely flashbacks to tell us how Naruto got to become so powerful with all of the main characters from Naruto, which were for some odd reason just randomly always lived in Arario, even though they probably would never have met each other
Well,
because
you
two
see.
of them had families and would have
We
no
live in a society.
reason to be near an orphanage. And
Well, they might have had reasons to be there. You never
also,
know.
I'm just
Sasuke's
trying.
family
I'm
would
just
never
trying
be
to
killed.
figure out why he was getting chased.
Because he's a little
Rape.
demon. Because he's a demon. Because that's what Naruto
Demon.
happens
Naruto,
in
demon.
Naruto in canon, right? Because he was a demon, so all the villagers made a mob and chased him with pitchforks. And so that's what happens here because that's what happened in canon, right?
Inventing your own story. Kind of cringe, bro. Sincerely, fanfiction author.
Yeah. Like, honest to God, Christ, like, I don't understand stories like these. It's like, what if Naruto was in Arario? Okay, well, that could be a cool story, I guess. Sort of like, very powerful version of Naruto and Arario, and like all the gods have to deal with this just strangely powerful human that just randomly showed up, and that would actually be a very interesting political repercussions and whatnot. No, I meant like, what if Naruto was born in Arario without chakra or anything from Naruto, and just grew up as an adventurer? Well, why is his name Naruto?
Yep, Bin Laden moment.
Why is his name Naruto? Because I want people to read my
It sounds
story.
like it would be more interesting. It sounds like it would be more interesting if it was adult Sasuke accidentally comes across this dimension. Cue interdimensional politics.
Yeah, basically. Naruto scowled as he found a green shrubbery. I see he met the Knights of Ni. I'm not sorry. Trees.
The Knights that say the N-word.
He walked into the center tree. It was a tall, winging sakura tree, and pressed the panel on the side of the bark, and he hopped into the hidden base inside the tree. Oh, okay. This is
For fuck's sake.
what? And so he followed the root pathway down the tree trunk to a secret passage underneath, and the Kurama Familia made it so that all the members were three-man cells with a senior member to guide them, so they can all go on missions. And basically everyone from Naruto is here in Arario, having always been here.
Except a three-man team is a terrible idea because it leaves out,
Yeah,
generally speaking, one critical part of your support structure.
it's an absolutely horrible team. Like, there's a reason why the Loki family does 20-man raids. Like, because three-man teams are fucking horrible for progress in a dungeon that
Also-
swarms you with monsters.
Also, we should point out the villages didn't do three-man squads. They either did 3 students and a teacher or 4 actual ninjas.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's also the reason why they did 4-man squads was because it's reminiscent of what the current military thing is for squads, 4 to 6 people. But also, they did 4-man squads because they're fucking ninjas, and it's easier to move hidden when you don't have a lot of people because you're assassinating people because you're a ninja.
And when they did go into open warfare, they had armies.
Yeah, It's really
Armies composed of ninja, but
weird.
still armies.
It's really fucking weird how trying to apply assassinations techniques to a dungeon that infinitely spawns monsters.
And occasionally has temper tantrums and spawns way more of them.
Why the fuck? Unless this is the part where we find out that actually the Kurama family is the public branch of the evilest organization, and they actually secretly assassinate people during the night. And they call themselves the Dark Brotherhood.
And if they mark you, you will die.
Oh, and the reason why everyone thought of Naruto as a demon is because from his maternal side, the spirit of the demon fox was sealed away in their souls. And every time the maternal side of the family had a kid, the soul would pass on to the kid. And now Naruto has the demon monster soul sealed inside his soul, causing him to have the god buff known as Yokai Kitsune. An ability that makes him stronger and makes him go into a blood rage and covers his form in a spectral blood fox.
Where does Kurama come into this then? Because for the familiar to be named that, that has to be the presiding deity.
Yes. And it was pure chance that when the village exiled Naruto randomly for this, even though his family had lived in the village up until this point with the monster demon fox sealed inside him,
And no one had cared.
Yeah, they exiled Naruto. No, his parents are dead now.
But like I'm saying, no one cared.
Family,
Well,
They're
you
not.
say they're not.
are you sure
Read
they're not
the
dead?
last of the sentence.
No, they're dead. It was pure chance the Kurama family passed through the village and recognized Naruto and his
Okay.
resemblance to the parents.
Okay, I missed the bit about them being in a photo.
Yes. Since Naruto was saved and then grew, for some reason that grew is capitalized in the arms of his new family. I don't know why that's capitalized. It would be familia, whatever. Finding himself smiling. Yeah, sometimes I too just find myself randomly smiling. I'm just kidding. I don't find myself smiling ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
Smiling's weird.
I think it's entirely possible that you've actually forgotten how to smile.
I know how to smile. I just hate everything else too much.
Yeah.
I smile when Gura's on.
Good.
That's about it.
At least there's some joy in this.
Everyone
I was
laughs
gonna
at
say,
the funny
now the
shot.
question is, does smiling
Shark.
make your face hurt? Just because it's so unused.
No.
All right, there's still hope for him.
So anyway, Naruto is living literally inside a tree of the Kurama family, which apparently is a deity now? Question mark? And then he walked away down a hallway of roots into an extremely large room that could fit 30 people. And these secret tree rooms was where the Kurama family met.
Why? Unless you're about to inform us that they are in fact part of the evil familia.
I'm not really sure how they got away with making multiple tree bases across a city. Like, these trees are big enough for a 3-man cell to live in. And apparently, nobody has figured out that the giant ass trees randomly in the middle of a city are not
Hey, were these giant trees always in the middle of our house?
basically. And apparently the roots are secret passageways underneath the city that connect to each other, or something. And yeah, and okay, and oh, Naruto, a girl yelled as Naruto wasn't given a chance to respond as he was sent to the floor, curtsy of an
Curtsy, yeah.
excited.
Would that actually say curtsy?
Oh no, it says courtesy. Of an excited platinum blonde girl that Cackle hugged him. It's a very interesting. I also like this here. Everyone's attitude is different except Naruto. Naruto is the only one where apparently genetics are purely reigning, and his attitude is the exact same. Everyone else's genetics don't exist, and they have a completely new attitude. Different environment created different personalities for everyone but Naruto. Naruto is the only one whose genetics, being a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, who proved superior. I'm not saying this. The author is saying this.
I know. That doesn't make it better.
I'm shocked that I haven't brought Remy back from the dead. Did you not hear what I said?
No, I was busy helping Kitty for a moment.
Oh, you see, Naruto is the only one whose personality is the exact same from the series Naruto. Everyone else's personalities are different. Naruto is also the only blue-haired, white-skinned, blue-eyed, yellow-haired, white-skinned individual. So his genetics prove superior.
Exactly. And they ring true.
Oh god. So anyway, Tako hugged Naruto for some reason, and she kind of just ground herself into his lap, giggling.
Because that
Wait,
that fits that character.
Yeah.
So how old is he right now?
He's like 16.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's somewhat.
Will you join me in the bath, Naruto? And he's like, no. And she's like, what? We used to do it when we were young. Yeah, well, that was before you did the thing. And these two were part of the Ina Shikacho team of Kurama Familia. The legacy cell, the legacy cell, because families do this normally, have 3-man cells that separate from each other in isolated scenarios, and these are the good guys. Reminder: these isolated 3-man cells that operate independently of each other are not standalone complexes. They are a secret organization dedicated to controlling the city, but they're the good guys.
We're the good Illuminati. Trust me.
Yeah, they're the good Illuminati. Trust them, guys. They're here to help.
I mean, okay, let's be fair. That's basically the entire plot of Assassin's Creed 1.
The Great Reset. Yeah, it's just the good Illuminati. Don't worry about it. There is no.
Okay,
no
but like
here.
they actually showed nuance in that. And like,
yeah, which I was super. So I saw an article talking about why right, people are like, oh, we want to go back to the old Assassin's Creed, completely missing the point of why people wanted to go back to the old Assassin's Creed, which is it has nothing to do with Ezio or Altair being good characters, and everything to do with I would like my stealth assassin game to have some stealth assassinations
and some nuance in the whole thing. Yeah. This is physically painful to listen to. Well, I'm glad I'm causing you pain. Brings me joy.
It brings life into these breaking bones.
Indeed. You've returned, Brat. Oh, goddess. Okay, so alright, here we go. We got the goddess. Are you guys ready? Tall
Wait,
woman.
okay, hold on. No. Before we reveal. Okay, Sneaky, you should put up a bet whether it's going to be Hestia or Loki.
Neither.
It's Kurama Familia, why would it be either of those?
Because I expect this author to be an idiot and not understand the naming nomenclature.
I actually have to give that to Atin. He does raise a really good point, as I do expect the author to be retarded. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
That is,
Like,
yeah.
Wait, you only expect them to be retarded? I thought that was already proven.
Like, I would fully expect the author to be like, it's Hestia, and it's not Hestia
no, it's
Familia.
actually it's a tall woman with fiery orange hair and 2 fox ears and 9 swishing tails that waved lazily behind her. She was dressed in a red and white Japanese-style kimono that left her milky shoulders exposed. She looked at Naruto with
shoulders.
a smile.
Yes.
And he
What is
returned
this,
the smile.
a Christian school?
Goddess, he greeted, standing before him, was the leader of the Familia Kurama, a fox deity from heaven. A fox deity that doesn't exist because we already have one called Inari. Oh.
Wow. But Kurama's from Naruto, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Kurama's from Naruto.
He's from Naruto.
He's Boruto's dad.
Okay.
But
I am trying to comprehend how they are a secret, a set of secret selves, while also proclaiming exactly who their deity is.
Yes. Well, you see, they secretly enter their familia homes by pressing a button on a tree found scattered throughout the city. Each cell gets their own tree, which can house up to 3 people inside the tree. Not on top of the tree, inside the tree. And you see the roots actually all intertwined together to form large tunnels that lead to even larger rooms underneath with the connection points that allow them to meet in secret underneath the city. And no one's ever figured this out before now.
You know,
not in hundreds of years.
You know, it would actually be okay if everybody knew, but they just left them alone to play it.
You
know,
like,
oh no, we've known about this for years, but we don't want you destroying the city. So
we've known about this for years, but you guys are basically like a LARP, so it's kind of cool.
Honestly, it's kind of cute when you guys try, but you're
basically local entertainment.
Oh god, you know they would be.
Oh yeah, no, like right, like all the high rank people would take like the fresh meat out. Like, now watch, these are the most unaware people in the city. What are they doing? They're going into their secret tree base. It's high noon. Everyone can see them pushing a button.
It's high noon.
Bang, bang, bang.
I have brought the most powerful weapon to my familia, the power of gun.
The power of
I'm
44
gonna
Magnum.
defeat you with friendship and this gun I found. Wait, hold on. What about that second one? Friendship? No, the other one. The gun I found? Yeah, where the fuck did you get a gun? I found it on the ground.
From someone I stabbed.
After I stabbed the guy. Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
With a knife I found.
With this
on the
knife
ground.
I found. Where did you get the knife? I found it on the ground.
From someone else that I stabbed.
From this guy I beat up. Jesus Christ, kid, what the fuck?
The power of escalation. Someone called Nexus.
God. Speaking of Pokemon in the old days, like just straight up like, hey kid, I don't know you. Oh, well, it's okay, we're not from around here. Not from around here, eh? Takes out shotgun and get the fuck out of my store.
Yeah.
Old Pokemon be like.
Face.
Or remember the old man who's just like, I don't know who these kids are.
Hold the gun. Fire at them with my gun. Or
let me just get my old Smith & Wesson.
Or fucking reminded me with the clip he posted earlier. I think it was in memes and shit posts.
The base James one.
No,
Yeah.
the base James one. Yeah.
It's on Meister, I think.
Yeah, just miss the
Yeah.
old Pokemon anime. The person had to defend themselves like, guys, I'm not saying I hate women. I just missed when this anime was fun.
So you
me-
so you're
Yeah,
right wing.
and
So you
we've
hate
garbaged.
women then? What? No, I never said that. What? How did you even get that for me saying I'm right wing? Oh, you just said you hate gays too. Wait, what? No, where are you getting this? Right, Max?
That video was so painful to watch. It was hilarious, but oh my god.
Yeah.
Painful for me if that's the Gen 3 one. That makes me feel so old.
That was Gen 3. Holy shit. That was Gen 3. Oh, fuck. Older than Remy.
No, actually, not by like 3 or 4 years. So fuck you, cunt.
You were just a zygote when the first episode came out.
Sneaky, I think I'm gonna get off. I'm not feeling too well. I'll talk
I
to
was
you.
saying,
alright,
you know what
we're
that is, folks? That's the sound of age.
We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna
the
wrap
Friday.
it up here.
See you, Turtle.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
Well,
so
Sneaky. At least I'm not literally a fossil
yeah, fair enough.
above the age of 20.
I'm
Ancient.
pretty sure someone from the Soma
Not like
Familia.
Fiend.
What makes you say that? Well, they
Yeah.
robbed a guy. Oh, yes.
Brando.
Clearly,
Oh,
only
God.
robbing occurs from the Soma Familia. All right. Everyone knows the Soma Familia goes around robbing people, and they're the only ones that rob them.
Based.
And everyone
Based.
smiled and nodded. Yeah, you're right. Only the Soma Familia robs people. So we should go beat them up. Okay? Yeah, let's go do that. All right, let's all go. Stop trying to have sex with Naruto. Oh, but goddess, that ass is mine, that Kurama then replied with.
What?
As she squeezed
Fuck this
Naruto's
shit.
capitalized ass cheeks. Why is that capitalized?
Why is
As
this in
he
the story?
shot to the ceiling in surprise,
I'm gonna go eat
confronting Kurama, he ran away as everyone started laughing at him.
You know, this story would probably be like a good deal more enjoyable if Kurama was just a grumpy old man.
That'd be funny, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at that. 3 a.m. Adios, fuckers.
Later.
Wow, he actually left on time.
So
That's-
anyway, they don't publicize that Naruto is already the strongest adventurer. For some reason, a bunch of shit ton of words in this sentence are randomly capitalized. Tower of Babel, adventurers, bah, so foolish. Mortals can never defeat monsters. What? Except that's like the entire premise of the story. To slay monsters, you need to become a monster. What? Body shift, flow drip, flow drip. Shed this mortal husk so I may travel unchained. Do the Mamba. The hooded man chanted the spell and his body became black smoke with red glowing eyes, and it disappeared into the forest. So this is just really a fucking garbage ass story. I'm gonna make this a harem story, and it's not gonna be unrealistic like having 60 girls. I'm sorry, what is your definition of a realistic harem story then?
The one where there's politics in it.
Oh, apparently. Ino is definitely in. I just love the Naruto times Ino pairing, and I don't know why. I don't know why you do either, because they've basically never interacted. They've said like amounting to what? 10 words to each other?
Also, how can you call this Eno?
Like,
Yeah,
they're
also it's not
they're
fucking
mutual
Ino.
friends through Sakura, like at best.
Like, this isn't Ino. Yeah, this isn't Ino. It's completely different. It's totally, guys. She's got platinum blonde hair, even though I don't know what hair color that is, and she's like, her name's so she's duh. It's like, having that name doesn't make you that person. They'd be like, oh well, Max Force. He's got to punch things really hard because his name's Max Force, right? What? No.
I mean, that is how it works. Max is just incredibly violent, always so very prone to punching people.
Flies off the hook. So yeah, here's Naruto's stat sheet, everyone. He's got skills like Yokai Kitsune, Guardian, which makes him stronger when he's defending, Mana Ocean, which makes him have infinite mana. He has Quick Cast, which lets him cast spells without needing to do any chants.
That's not how. Okay.
My favorite here is he's level 7, right? So everything's graded on the alphabet, in accordance to typical your Japanese grading. So you got your F, E, D, C, B, A, S. So the author here, in his infinite wisdom, so Naruto's level 7, which is, as far as canon is concerned, level 8's the highest that's ever been introduced in the series.
No, I think level 7 is. Hang on.
No,
Someone just showed.
Otter is the highest level.
Yeah, I know he's.
He's level 8.
Yeah, he's level 7.
Oh, is he level 7? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the top. Just oh my god, what the fuck are these stats?
Yeah.
He has 999 in 2 stats. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I'm really confused by, right? Mage level E. Mage level E, but magic level SS.
Why would that? Oh wait, okay. I was trying to figure out like where's he getting these stats from? It's like his author's note mentions he was playing the gacha version of this, because I don't think we've seen anything above 1,000 for a stat.
No, it's literally impossible. According to canon, it's literally impossible to get higher than 999 on a stat.
That is only in Memoria Freeze, the gacha game.
Yeah, and when you level up, it resets back to 0, and what it does is it goes from F in the stat, and when you hit 99 in F of a stat, you go to E of the stat at 0, and then you hit 99 and you go to D of the stat at 0.
I think I is the lowest.
I is the lowest? Okay.
Yeah, it goes like I to G, I to H to G to F, I think.
So anyway, my point being is that the scaling system actually has some thought put into it, and I'm actually kind of impressed, to be honest.
Which, like, when I read about it, I was like, oh.
Actually, looking at the wiki, it says Bell at level 1 had over 1,000 in pretty much all of them.
So the way that it caps out, if you get to like let's say you hit like S at level 1 in agility, that's it, you're done. Your agility stays at you don't get any more points. You can't just stack agility points.
No, there's a max cap with each level, and that 999 is the cap. And Bell's special. Bell's a demigod.
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
Bell's.
Yeah,
that hasn't been revealed yet, but it's pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah, Bell's a demigod.
Not been revealed in the English novels yet. The English localization.
I would say special rules and special skills.
But anyway, so it caps at 99, which is what I said when I said it goes up with each grade. So it does cap out at S999. That's literally the highest amount of development you can get for that stat for that level. And then once you do finally level up, because leveling up's not guaranteed, by the way. Once you do finally level up, it does reset back to 0, and you can work that stat back up.
Also, anyway, look at his abnormal resistance rank.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Like this dude's level fucking 7. You get abnormal resistance at level 2. I think it was either level 1 or level 2 once you finally rank up. When you get your first ability point rank up thing. You can pick your first ability. Abnormal resistance typically starts, according to the wiki, I believe it was, like something around D or C. Somehow he has fucking rank H. And the more shit you encounter, because like not only can your stats go up, your abilities go up as you use them. Which is why I'm pointing out that he's mage rank E, but has a infinite mana pool and an SS rank magic. But his mage rank is fucking E. What?
And his abnormal resistance rank is 2 ranks lower than the minimum.
Yeah, his abnormal resistance is H for some reason. I don't know how that's physically possible. You can have a resistance of H. Like, fist strike. You strike things with your fist, G. So he can't hit anything? Oh, but wait, his power is D, his endurance is S.
Also, Naruto
Fuck?
being anything less than A at level, like, that's kind of laughable considering he's a powerhouse of the team.
Fucking D rank power, level 7. I'm sorry, you fucking what? What?
Like,
Don't worry, guys. He's the best in the group. Best in class.
He's the strongest in Aurario, because apparently level 7 is what Otter is too. He's the strongest in Aurario. D power. Like,
actually, I'm
fucking what?
pretty sure that Otar, I think all of his stats would let him just smack.
Oh, he can
Naruto
fucking bitch stop
down.
Naruto. Yeah, no, he can absolutely
Yeah.
fucking raffle stop Naruto right now with how he is.
His magic is the only thing that is less than S rank, and the rest are like the lowest S is 989. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he could just look at Naruto and be like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, no, literally, I am in utter fucking awe of how mentally deficit this author is. This author has a mental debt so massive that even Greece looks like they're in the positives compared to them.
Okay, so I decided to skip to chapter 2 because, like, okay, he'll probably give us, the stat sheets for each character at the end of each chapter. Sasuke, level 6, power S, 925. Why does Sasuke have more power
What the fuck?
than Naruto?
This is secretly a Sasuke story.
I am pretty sure when referring to power, it is referring to physical strength.
Yeah.
Why would Sasuke have more physical strength, even with a level difference, than Naruto?
Wait,
Sasuke was always the technical fighter.
Doesn't the
Naruto
rank
was the tank.
at each level?
Does the ranking reset each level?
I think
no,
so,
I don't
yeah,
think
and-
so. I think once you
I'm
hit
not
like
sure.
D strength and it resets, it just goes back to D00 instead of starting back at I.
Oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think. Honestly, I'm not sure. That I felt that wasn't really explained all that well.
Yeah, it was fairly vague. I'm just going off of what couple conversations I had with people who knew enough.
Okay, looking at the wiki,
Yeah.
Bell at level 1 had double S rank magic. At level 2, he had A rank.
Okay, so it does reset. Okay. All right. Still, that's...
So Naruto had more power than Sasuke
we
because
don't
he's at
know
a higher
that though.
level.
We don't know that though. We don't know that though, because his fist strike is at G, which doesn't reset with each level. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. This author is high. But anyway,
Okay,
we're gonna
alright. I need to
gonna-
know. Does he know Sakura next chapter?
Oh my god.
We're done here.
You know, this is it. We're done. Before I accidentally, get onto a plane ride and track this guy down, Taken style, and take him out. I'm gonna cut it off here. We're gonna say good night. We'll be here on Friday because there is always more, and it does always get worse. Jesus Christ.